Hi friends, welcome back to the Sanctuary Garden. I'm just getting back from work. This is my compost haul from the last 2 days. And I wanted to take a second to show you this. Those mushroom folks out there, can you tell me if you think you know what kind of mushroom this is? There's a second one. How cool is that? Should I be getting a letter out and harvesting this? Or is this just for looks? Poisonous? What? All I know is that this is the first time we've seen one grow and bloom here. But when we bought this house in the winter, there was one there, and we were like, oh, is this a sign? Is that, how special is that? What a quirk. And then it came back. So this tree must be inoculated with spores. I would say it's just a healthy tree, but I could be wrong. But how cool. How cool. Let me know if there's anything I can do with that. We lost half of our magnolia tree. And their power is down on the street because of it. Oh, so sad, Magnolia. So this week we had one of the largest windstorms we've ever had in our state for the last couple years. We didn't get any tornadoes, as I know a lot of places in the Midwest did, but we did have some crazy heavy winds. And because of that, we lost half of our magnolia tree and pretty much all of our fence right here that we had fixed previously. Now it is completely weak, falling apart. We were shocked it stayed as up as long as it did from our repairs. That's not doing well. And because of that, I have to be a hawk with my dogs for not running through to somewhere out there in the street. So adding a list of our things to do on this busy garden season is building a new fence, which is just disappointing. But when you're a homeowner, stuff happens and you just got to keep moving on and getting better, I guess. Could cut it a bit smaller, but it's okay. A toilet paper roll. So earlier this week, before the storm, something else interesting had happened, or unique. I found a bunny nest. So I was back here watering the garden, and the dogs were getting really excited over here. It's pulsing. It looks like a nest. Is it baby bunnies under there? I don't think it's a bird. It could be. There's a lot of feathers. Unless, does the bunny do that to what am I looking at? I had no idea what it was. I was kind of scared. Wasn't sure if it was a bird's nest that fell. And then I did my research and found it was a bunny's nest. Something in there. Oh my gosh, I think it's down there. Oh my gosh, there's a little nosy. I think there's a little nosy. Is there a baby down there? How old are you? It was down there, now it's probably hiding. Okay, I'm not gonna bother you. I'm just gonna leave it like that, but I gotta figure out something to do. My first thought was, how am I gonna keep these bunnies safe from my cats and my dogs? Of course, I can come out with my dogs every day. Choose not to let my cats out, and I read that bunnies' nests only really last 3 weeks. That they need to be protected or worried about if they're in your yard for 3 weeks, and then they move out of the nest, and that's a pretty quick turnaround to me. So my sweetheart, I'm like, what can I do to keep these safe? How vigilant over my pets am I gonna be? I'm not really sure what to do yet, but if I want to get my dogs out, I'm gonna figure out something. I could put this over here. I don't know how big the bunny is, and it would obviously fall, but that would maybe keep my dog's head out of being able to dig in there and mess with it. maybe like stake it down. I don't know. I didn't stake it down, but it kept my dogs from even going over there or sticking their noses in it. And I thought that that would be enough. It's kind of like really happy about it. Felt special that a bunny chose my backyard with my animals, full knowing that they were here to lay a nest. And I thought, well, that must mean that the bunny thinks this is a safe enough spot. Like the bunny thinks this is a good spot. Flash forward to the storm. It was just wild, man. Just, you could feel the energy in the air, the wind moving, no real rain or hail. It was just intense. Because of our back fence fell down, I don't know, it allowed bigger creatures to come in here that normally do. Next day after the storm, Max found that an animal had come into the bunny's nest area. I don't know how to put it well. And attacked him pretty gruesomely too. When Max found them, the mama bunny didn't want to leave them. He kind of gave her some space, went to work, and he came home and he was like, I gotta clean it up now. She still didn't want to leave them. She spent all day by their side. Gosh, it was just heartbreaking. And this is a bunny we see all the time, running up and down our driveway. She watches us through the fence. She was always very aware of us and even my dogs, and they kind of created like a relationship where she knew who they were and when they ran out and what it sounded like. So he just had to clean it up. He just had to clean it up, and we had to do to not let that be a problem here. So I just kind of spent that whole day, the next couple of days, just thinking about that bunny and the mom and how I couldn't protect her. To think that I thought that I could, maybe from my own animals, but to think that they were safe from others, I don't know what I was thinking. And maybe I just have a soft heart, which I totally do, but I wanted more from that experience. But then flash forward 2 days after that, when she's just kind of hanging about with nothing to take care of and an empty nest, I pull into my driveway and there she is with another bunny, and they're running out of my headlights together, and I'm like, okay, life goes on. But she can be well on her way to having more bunny rabbit babies, and within 2 days, you know. And maybe that's out of heartbreak, who knows bunny logic. But I don't really hope that she does it here again, but you know, whatever. If she does do it here again, I'll just get better at protection. I don't know. It just was like the universe's way of being like, hey, it's okay. Don't think on it too hard. Life gets to go on and start over. And you know, I don't know. There's a beautifulness to the garden and to life and to animals too. And that's just something I had to realize the hard way with a pet that wasn't even mine. So pretty. Percy and Owlie are doing pretty good. Still standing. Except not really doing their job. They're not working with the squirrels or against the squirrels. The squirrels just jump right over them. I've seen it. The snakes aren't really working either. But I'm gonna keep them. I'm not gonna move them. Like, I'll just keep moving them around and hope that it helps sometimes. Maybe they'll help against other animals, but they didn't work for bunnies or squirrels, so make that for your notes if you're thinking about using that as an option. May or may not work at all. So I was just checking out this tree that's growing into this bush thing I have here in the fence. I was looking at the leaf shape, trying to figure out what type of tree it might be from the trees in my yard, and then I found this. So these ants on this tree are farming aphids. If you can look right there. Camera's just not gonna get it, and it's almost dark. Like, this is crazy. But farming aphids, which are these little tiny green bugs that infect plants, and when they eat off the plant's leaves or suck the juices out of the leaves, they create like there we go, you can kind of see them, little green bumps. They create like this gel or this juice. They secrete it from the leaves after, and then the ants drink it up like sugar water. And so they actually end up farming these garden pests because they get life juice out of it and basically can live out of it forever without like minimum work. So I think what the ants are doing are waiting, feeding, and then like coming back in rounds. Isn't that crazy? All on the tiniest leaf on a random tree in my backyard that, like, I don't even know how it grew here. Probably all by itself. What? It's like a world within a world within a world. Life is crazy. See how it is when it gets darker. And with that, thank you guys so much for spending time with me in the garden today. So far, everything is planted, and I look forward to taking a garden tour with you in the next video. Take care, guys, and have a happy Memorial Day weekend. And then I planted this Delilah right here. And, you know, she's movable. She likes the sun, so that's an easy plant to start with. And then I planted a zinnia here.